Hey folks, my name's Sean and I like to make spooky art. Specifically in this case, in this video, we're covering the process that I used to make this clicker from the video game and the television show The Last of Us. I'm hoping that through these videos, maybe we can start to build a community of folks who like to make this type of art, this sort of home-brewed spooky art, and we can talk about best practices and our experiences. And so I'd encourage you, please comment, let me know if you see something that you think I'm missing, or if you have questions, and I'll try to help you with any questions you might have. And I really hope you just enjoy it. So thanks a lot for checking it out, and happy haunting.
I always use the bags from my shopping at Walmart or whatever grocery store to cover the model initially, and then a layer of masking tape to sort of catch the Loctite foam. The Loctite foam, you may have seen this in other videos, but essentially once you spray that on, you spray it with a layer of water. That starts the foam to skin over and allows the skin to become sculptable before the entire product has hardened. And it makes a really quick turnaround for building forms like this head form. Remove it from the dummy and then put in a 3/4 inch piece of PVC at the right angle in order to be able to create the neck. A few minutes later, and it's ready to move on to the next step. And so I needed to pattern out the mushroom pieces that burst from the skull from the inside of the infected. And apparently these creatures, the infection goes to the brainstem, and then it sort of erupts from the middle of the face where the skull would be the weakest. So I took some flooring mat from Walmart. I think they were $13 for a pack. And then after it had been cut and foamed, I started putting some paper clay around the edges in order to be able to make it look more organic. Starting the paint, I used black and then some lighter colors. I kept getting lighter and lighter until we get into the oranges and reds, based on some references that I found from the video game. I mixed up a 2-part resin here to be able to create the shiny areas that would remain shiny. You could use probably something like a Plastidip, but resin really, it just has a very specific, wonderful look. And then I moved on to the body. I took some measurements, again, off of those same references, and he ended up being about 24 inches wide. I happen to have a mannequin. You could certainly build a mannequin from some packing tape and fill that with a little bit of newspaper, something along those lines. But someone gave me this, and so I used it in my build. Following the same basic steps that you saw me use for the head, I started forming out the body. You do have to babysit this, so it'll continue to try to rise for a few minutes. So you have to continue to push it down until it stops. Essentially, the chemical process stops and you can remove it from your form. On this project, I used 3 containers of Loctite foam and then 1 of Great Stuff, and just Great Stuff foamed the body form to the PVC, 3/4 inch PVC frame, and then used some more Loctite to marry those 2 things together. Not pictured was the heat gun when I heat gunned the frame and torqued it so that it looked more like a zombie, more threatening and organic. Then it's just a matter of repeating the process as we create the arms, and start working our way down to the pelvis and the legs. Made some nice tidy whities. I did put some pool noodle inside of the legs in order to bulk them out a little bit to hold them in place in the thigh area. This was kind of cool. The knee remained flexible because of the plastic bags that I covered it with initially. So I distressed some pants that I got from Goodwill with some various tools and finished off the back of the sculpture as well. Added a little bit of paper clay mushrooms and also some additional Loctite mushrooms, and then based the entire sculpture out again in black. The weather finally started to get nice, so we took him outside and I put a little bit of that camo color again, and then my daughter recorded a little bit of this awkwardness, and I used a little bit of Elmer's glue with some food coloring to finish him off. Now to figure out how we're going to use him in the haunt. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have any questions, please again ask in the comments. I will see you in the next video, and happy haunting!